Welcome back to my channel, Useless Skills. Wilson here. All right, today I wanted to do a little something. I wanted to do something a little different. Today we're gonna go over the top 10 shows that I recommend on HBO Max. Now, I would say these series are a little underrated. Not a lot of people talk about them. Not a lot of people watch them. Not a lot of people know about them, in my opinion. So I'm not gonna go over big name HBO shows like Westworld, Game of Thrones, Sopranos, The Wire, True Blood. Like all those shows. If you want to watch them, you can. They're there. Everyone knows about them. These are kind of like, I think, under the radar shows. Not a lot of people know about them, and they're really interesting, in my opinion. So again, I'm not doing movies because HBO Max doesn't really have a lot of original movies. They have that Pickle movie with Seth Rogen and the recent, I think, Witches movie, but I don't think they have like themselves actual like HBO Max movies. And soon they're gonna have the Snyder Cut, which I'm really excited for that, the Justice League Snyder Cut. But again, that's later on. So hopefully in the future I'll make a top 10 HBO Max, movies, original movies. But for right now, just doing TV shows. Now I'm gonna start off with an honorable mention, and that's the Looney Tunes cartoons. This is one of the greatest revivals, recoveries, whatever you want to call it, remakes, reboots, to ever, I think, come to existence in HBO Max. It brings all the fun, original cartoons back to life with a little bit more punch than that back in the day that we're used to. And the original voice actors unfortunately are deceased, but the voice actors bring their own twist to a little bit of the voices, and also they try to emulate a lot of the classic voices, so it really feels fresh and new, but still relevant to how it used to be. As well as the other Looney Tunes cartoons are also from the past included in here, with the classical music and all of it in there. So definitely check it out. I think they're each 12 minutes. They're like 12-minute episodes. The first season of the new remake only has like I think 11 or 12 episodes, so it's not that long. All right. Then we have for number 10 is The Night Of. Okay, so this is an HBO limited series. It's a very slow burn. It's a drama, a little bit of a thriller. You follow this guy, this kid, and you some incident happens, and you don't know if he did it or not. It's a little bit defending Jacob from the Apple series. I don't know if you guys have Apple Plus, but it's a little bit of defending Jacob before defending Jacob. And again, it's not. It's a Middle Eastern kid with all the connotations that come with that. They really play heavy into how American, because this happens in America, Americans view the Muslim community, what they do, what they're capable of, how they behave, all that stuff, and it's really played out in the media a lot. And I really like basically how they take you through this. Did he do it? Did he not do it? Who really did it? And ultimately, the mystery is really within yourself. Like, are you willing to believe these things just because the media is telling it to you, or just because the show's presenting it to you in a certain way, or are you willing to still take heedance to the character and what he's going through, as well as a very, very, I think, broad look at what happens to an innocent person when they go into the system, the American criminal justice system, and how that turns them into a different person, and what they have to go through, both them and their families. So really, it's 9 episodes, 8 hours, 8 9 hour watch in total. The episodes aren't that long, but really good watch. And again, and all these shows are gonna have great cast. So I'm just gonna say they have a great cast, and you should really check it out. You'll be surprised at who's actually in these shows, but it's a really good show, and you should check it out. Number 9, we have Chernobyl. Uh, I don't even know if I have to mention what the event is about. Basically, it's a nuclear reactor that exploded in Chernobyl and caused a lot of nuclear fallout in the surrounding communities and basically the world, because we're still dealing with the consequences of this today. The mishandling of it, the cover up, all that stuff. And it's handled beautifully in Chernobyl. And I think it's from the same producers or creators of The Night Of. And in the night of, it was a really slow burn, very much so. But this one, I feel like they did the slow burn approach, but at least towards the end of every episode, you have a little bit of like it leads you on to the next one. Like, oh damn, I gotta find out what happens next, and I gotta find out what happens next, and like the cause of this thing and the mishandling of it, it just builds and builds and builds, and and the cinematography and really the makeup work and all that stuff really sells that this is really happening before you on screen. So it really feels it's visceral. It's really in your face. It really feels powerful. And again, great cast. It's a mini series. It's basically just one season contained. Doesn't have any other seasons, and it's only I think maybe 8 or 6 or 8 episodes. Basically, I think a 5 6 hour runtime in total that'll run you. But it's like after you watch one episode, you just want to watch the next one and the next one and the next one. And as the stuff starts to unfold, it really gets you. All right, now we're gonna go on to my number 8 pick, Barry. Barry is oh god, what is Barry? What isn't Barry? Barry is an assassin show, and I love assassin shows. So it's about an assassin who he's trying to get this guy. He's like is their target, right? And he joins this improv group to get his target, and then sort of he likes it, and so he stays there, and it kind of makes him into an actor and stuff. So it's really fun. It's a really fun premise. It's something I don't think I've seen done before, and if it has, at least I don't think to this caliber. Bill Hader, this is like the role he was born to play. It's so good. It's funny. It is a drama. Like there are drama elements to it, and all in all, it's just a fun time. Really, the episodes I think are like 30 minutes long. They're not that long, and I think it's on its third season now. But still, it's like 10 episodes a season. It's really not that long of a watch. Well worth it. A real fun time. And even if you just I would say just watch the first 3 episodes, and automatically if you're not hooked, then you can put it down. But you're gonna be hooked after the first episode because it's just like there is action, like some killings happen in the show, and it's just so like in your face. It just happens, and then it's like boom, comedy the next scene. You're like you don't know where to go, but it's really fun. All right, now for the next one, Harley Quinn. Now this one made it a little bit past Barry, just because I feel like the comedy in the Harley Quinn series is a little bit more my style. My speed is very raunchy, very in your face, very adult, and it's something that I wasn't expecting either out of this series. So this is a DC Universe original, so it's technically not an HBO Max original, but DC Universe is owned by HBO, and all their shows are coming on to HBO Max because I think they're going to kill DC Universe off anyway. So ultimately, I'm gonna call this a HBO Max original show. And yeah, Harley Quinn really actually it's actually a really funny show. It brings me back to the time when I was a kid watching Saturday morning cartoons like Batman and stuff, but like as an adult because it's very adult themed and it has a lot of adult jokes and a lot of adult stuff happens. Like a lot of gore and a lot of funny things. But it's just really surprising to me that it could still get me even now as an adult. I'm really invested in the storyline and the plot and all that stuff, as well as the characters. Each episode's like 20 to 30 minutes. There's only, I think, 3 seasons right now. And it's really, even though it says Harley Quinn, it's really like it's a good Batman show. It's a good Detective Jim Gordon show. It's really good. It's an action adventure, animation. It's really fun though, and I like really all the characters. Kaylee Cuoco, I gotta say, Kaylee Cuoco in this, I was not expecting her to be such a good Harley Quinn, but she is, and she's from The Big Bang Theory, which never resonated with me, but this for some reason really does. So I think this is really going to be her standout role, at least from now on. And yeah, just check it out, really good. All right, now on to Euphoria. So Euphoria, as you're going to see later on in the list, I really like horror shows and movies. This is like real life horror. This is like what happens when your kid is what your kid might actually be dealing with right now in real life if they're a teenager. And this is like Zendaya's like basically her rip away from her Disney and Nickelodeon past to a more adult, more mature drama, and it's really good. I really like the music in it. Actually, surprisingly, the score is really good. Towards the ending, the last episode has like this musical number that's very Broadway, but like it really hits. It's really fun. And yeah, it's really sad. It's a good drama series. You really care about the characters, and ultimately, since they're all portraying teenagers, and believably so, I believe, you really feel like this could be happening to your teenager right now. It's very LGBTQ plus friendly, and it has, I think, even a trans person in the cast, which again, for the first role, at least I believe, because I've never seen them in anything else, really knocked it out of the park. Great casting in this, and yeah, each season is only, I think, 10 episodes, and I think there's only 2 seasons right now. But it's really worth a watch, especially if you have a kid, so you can relate and see what's going on in their world, or at least it's like basically the kids version of the 2019. You know what I mean? Like what's happening right now in the world. All right, we're moving on to the newsroom. So now the newsroom is, let's say, it's not as punchy or as exciting as maybe the other shows that I mentioned, but it does have for it going. It does have going for it very good writing. So basically, I think the newsroom is, how to put it. It's like what America's dealing with right now, even though this is like a show from 2012. So I think even like a clip with Jeff Daniels and one of the extras that he was talking to about like the state of politics and the world of America right now. Even that clip that was played, I think, back in 2016, could be played right now and is still relevant to this day. And it's such a good, it's just so good, such a good show. It's only, I think, 3 seasons, and then they called it quits. It's really about these characters that are going through life in America. Each episode's maybe 55 minutes to an hour, and it has again a great cast with Jeff Daniels, Alison Pill, Dev Patel, Olivia Munn is in this. It's really really good. It delves into basically the media and all the stuff that happens behind the camera and how they choose to present it to the American people, and how morally correct or morally incorrect those things are, and why they do the things that they do. So, but it's really good. It's a really good look behind the camera, at least for American politics. All right, now we're going to The Leftovers. Now, this, I'm going to get a lot of hate for this. I love this show. It is from the co-creator of Lost, so there's that. And yes, it does not stick the landing like Lost, but like Lost, I would still recommend it, even if not everything made sense at the end, and the ending kind of really is not that great. I would still recommend The Leftovers just for the journey. The first season is great with all the smoking and all that stuff. The dogs, like this is crazy stuff. The cults. Regina King is in this after like season 2 forward, and does an amazing job here as well as later on in the list, as you'll see. But yo, so good. The Leftovers. Sorry, I forgot to talk about it. It's a drama, fantasy, and a mystery. I guess all wrapped up. Definitely a mystery. Um, and it's basically like if the end of the world, not the end of the world, the rapture happened more or less. So people got basically taken away, and the people that were left were in the rapture. Basically, that's kind of sort of what the show is about, sort of. But yeah, and again, has a great cast from Justin Theroux to Christopher Eccleston from Doctor Who fame. Like great cast really, and a great show. I think each episode's like an hour. There's only 3 seasons to this as well. Like I like. It's not that I like a lot of short shows. It's just that like I feel like they tell so much story within the first season and coupling seasons that by the end, by the third season, really it's just culmination of everything that's come together, and they don't really need more. So, but yeah, definitely The Leftovers. Check it out. It's a great show, at least for the journey. Now, Lovecraft Country. Woof, what can I say about Lovecraft Country? What can't I say about Lovecraft? The only reason it's further down on my list, like it's number 3, not number 1, it's because I don't have more of it, and I want more of it. Where is it? Come on, give it to me now. So Lovecraft Country is it's basically a true story, if that makes sense, but also a fantasy story, and it's from Jordan Peele and J.J. Abrams and Misha Green, and these great minds. So basically, it's back in the day, 1950s, but they twist it with this Lovecraftian fantasy and horror element to it. So it really has like the Cthulhu and the all the dark, really deep dark stuff. And when the drama's there, it really feels dramatic. You really feel for these characters. And when the horror is there, you really feel the horror. Like there are moments in this that I was like, I'm scared. You know what I mean? And I don't really get scared, mostly because a lot of the shows and movies and stuff depict a lot of white people. So I'm like, that's not gonna happen to me. That's these guys, and they're dumb for living out there in the middle of nowhere. But this is people that look exactly like me, having a bad time, and I feel like it could happen to me right now, me sitting in my living room. So basically, yeah, they did a great job with it, and again, stellar cast. Um, Really fun. Well, it's horrific, but it's also fun. Like the elements that they take and they put into this world to make it like fit into our world is really unique and interesting in my opinion. But yeah, Lovecraft Country, good show. Only has one season out right now. I think it's like 10 episodes. They're an hour each. Very good show and a good start to HBO Max's list of new shows. Now, The Outsider. This is an HBO show that caught me off guard. I'm not gonna lie. So it's based on the best-selling novel by Stephen King, but I have not read this novel, and so I wasn't expecting this show. Now, I don't know if you guys ever seen Mothman Prophecies, but this to me was Mothman Prophecies. This so Mothman Prophecies as a kid when I watched it, it was like you had this glimpse sort of into what the Mothman looked like and stuff like that, but you didn't really get to see him. And a lot of it was like descriptive, and a lot of it was characters looking at it and you not really seeing it. So that kind of freaked me out even more. This show is that. So initially, it plays as like a regular crime drama, right? It's Jason Bateman, and he also produced the show. And it's Jason Bateman, and you think, okay, well, this is gonna be his, his new Ozark or whatever. But he's only in the first episode. There's a reason for it. You have to watch it, and like everything that happens in this show, you think, okay, well, who did it? Because there's obviously like a crime that was committed, and you're trying to figure out who did it and what happened and all this stuff. And then the horror aspect comes in, and it comes out of nowhere. You don't expect it, and it's creepy. Like everything that they describe, everything they say, how the thing behaves, to how it speaks, even like doesn't even really speak. Just everything about it is just really creepy and intense, and you really feel it. Like I'm getting goosebumps the back of my neck just talking about it. But it's like it really feels like a real thing, and I don't know if the novel is the same, but the show really sells it for me. And it's only had one season so far. It's 1 hour episodes, but really, oh my god! Like I'm telling you, if you're not hooked by the second episode, I don't know what I could sell to you, because this show is the pinnacle of what I believe you can do with this type of series. All right, now number one, yes, Watchmen. Now Watchmen to me, I really like the comic book. The movie was a hit or miss, really. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. There's definitely parts that I don't like, but definitely this Watchmen series just knocks it out of the park. Again, it's from the creator of the co-creator of Lost and The Leftovers, Damon Lindelof, but this one definitely sticks a landing, definitely hits it out of the park. Everything that I could have ever wanted Watchmen to be, that I didn't even know I wanted Watchmen to be, is here, and it's great. What can I not say about this show? It's an action, it's a drama, it's a mystery. It's very Watchmen-y, like very like the drama is very Watchmen-like. There's a lot of different components happening at the same time with the Ozymandias stuff, and there are heroes in it. There are superheroes in it, and Regina King is she knocks it out of the park. It's one of the greatest roles I think I've seen her in. Yaha Abdul Mateen as well, perfect casting. I don't want to spoil anything, but all the roles he plays are great. What else? Just everything about the show. This is definitely number one for a reason. It educated Americans about the Tulsa massacre. So basically, just a lot of good stuff in here, and good scenes. Even scenes like to this day just stick in my head. The first opening scene in one of the first episodes where the cop has to call to get the gun out of the locks thing. Like, I wish that existed. Even though it didn't prove effective there. But just a lot of good stuff. Um, Everything from seeing Mr. Manhattan, the way that he is portrayed in this, to who Regina King's, is in the show, and what she does and what she becomes. Just everything in the show, everything, really well done, really well helmed. And yeah, to me, this is the greatest show on HBO Max right now. And if I find another one, I'll let you know. But this is the top 10 list. Check out any of these shows that I mentioned. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you want more of this type of content. I'm going to be doing lists of for Netflix, lists for Hulu, lists for Disney Plus, lists for basically every streaming service. Amazon, every streaming service you could think of. I subscribe to, and I watch a lot of content. So there's a lot of stuff I'm going to go over. So I hope this useless skills has been useful.